The worst thing you've ever heard someone do out of jealousy? Maybe hack into their personal files or steal their food? You ever heard of someone dragging their friends into the street and accusing them of sedition? Well, let's find out which one of those is actually from the Bible. I hope there's good news there. Acts 17, 5-9. But other Jews were jealous, so they rounded up some bad characters from the marketplace, formed a mob, and started a riot in the city. They rushed to Jason's house in search of Paul and Silas in order to bring them out to the crowd or assembly. But when they did not find them, they dragged Jason and some other believers before the city officials, shouting, "These men who have caused trouble all over the world have now come here." And Jason has welcomed them into his house. They are all defying Caesar's decrees, saying that there's another king, one called Jesus. When they heard this, the crowd and the city officials were thrown into turmoil, and then they made Jason and the others post bond and let them go. The local religious folks see this crowd flocking to this spawning Jesus movement and get jealous. Let's talk about this word jealous for a minute. In the original language that Luke wrote in, the Greek, the word is Zello. And Zello is the same word that describes Joseph's brothers when they get all riled up in that competitive envy, when they saw their father favoring him with those fine threads. And they went so far as to kidnap him and sell him into slavery. So this word is a very intense one. So this jealousy motivates them to round up some local Gentile thugs. They get all pumped up, start a violent mob. And by the way, for those who are familiar with the passage a little later that says the Bereans are of more noble character than those in Thessalonica, well, now you know a little bit more about why. Two quick thoughts here. What does jealousy drive you to do or think? Our workplaces can be fertile grounds for worldly thinking to fester into envy and competition, sometimes so much so that we start having malicious thoughts about sabotage and subterfuge. Just recently, news reports have surfaced about employees hacking coworkers' calendars to make them late for meetings, or editing documents to have mistakes in them and make them look bad. Some even stealing others' homemade lunches, anything they could do to distract and destroy their competition. Of course, these are extreme examples, but we have to remind ourselves we're trying to shine a light in our workplaces. To even allow our mind to entertain malicious intent towards them is going to do much worse to erode our own characters and our connection to Christ. Second thought, Jason is guilty by association. We don't know much about him. He's probably just a young convert who showed these missionaries some hospitality, but now he's accused of Roman sedition and dragged into the city streets. This reminds us that we're guilty by association. We're going to be lumped in with the conversation when it comes to Christ and the church, and that's going to anger some people. And so we got to continue to count the cost on that and remind ourselves that the risk is worth it.